The free VRoid Expression Pack has just been updated, adding in some quality of life improvements and some big features that will make your model even better. This free VRoid Expression Pack will help get your model looking more professional by adding in customized expressions like blushing, starry eyes, and custom visual effects that are not provided by default in VRoid Studio. Don't waste your time watching various tutorials for hours to get the effects you want on your model. Just simply put your model into this field and go through the step-by-step process. No Unity experience needed. Now, I will be straightforward here. There are two versions of this plugin, the free version and the paid version. Right now, the only difference is in the amount of included expressions, and I will explain the details later in this video. To get started using this plugin, I recommend you to watch my previous video that explains the installation process and the first few pages in the expression pack. Then you can continue this video to understand the new features implemented in this update. And while you're here, why not give this video a like and subscribe for my future videos so you won't miss out. So, what's new in update 1.1? To make this expression pack even easier to use, I've added a help button on the top right side of every page so that you can click to open a specific part of my tutorial video in case you're not sure or forget what each field does. But if you don't want to press that, you can now hover your mouse over most elements to read the tooltip that will explain what the thing will do to your character. I've also added in a button next to all custom texture fields that will direct you to the Photoshop templates file included in this expression pack. You can then double-click to automatically open that template file in Photoshop if you have that application installed. 48 facial expressions, 5 custom shaders, and later 17 anime eye expressions and 8 visual effects can be overwhelming for your model. I realized very quickly how hard it is to find the exact expressions you want in VSeeFace when it's buried under that amount of expressions. So in this update, every page will have an opt-out option. Simply tick this box on all expressions that you don't want to be added into your character. A special shout out to Lady Kiana that gave me good feedback in my last video to add in new blend shapes that will lift up the eyebrows from the face. This can also be used to make your character have that stylistic eyebrows that always appear even when blocked by their hair. Although, be careful not to overdo it, because if you look at your character from the sides, it will look like the eyebrows are way off their face. In fact, I might take this feedback a step further, like adding in another new blend shapes so you can now move your eyebrows closer together or further apart with this specific blend shape. So now you can fully move your eyebrows up, down, left, right, and forward, backward. I really appreciate feedback like this. If you have any feedback or encounter any issues at all while using this expression pack like Lady Kiana, you can simply leave a comment down below and I will help you as best as I can. Oh, and I also added in a sweating texture, which you may want to customize later. But enough about the minor features. The big features in this update is the addition of 3 more customization pages. The new 4th page in this expression pack is alter eye textures. I don't know if this has been done before, but I notice sometimes VTuber models have 2 alter egos that they can switch between. But what if you can just blend them together into a single model? The first thing you need to do is to open the Photoshop template file in this plugin and make your own custom eye textures. Then export the image as PNG and put it back into Unity, anywhere in the project window. Then you can drag in your alter texture on the right side of these 3 fields and use the sliders to test the transition between the 2 textures. You can also leave it as blank texture so the original will disappear when transitioning into their alter ego. Later in VSeeFace, you need to first normalize your eyes by turning on pupil show expression, and then you can switch between the normal and alter textures by using the pupil alter expression toggle. There are so many creative things you can do with this, and it doesn't have to be an alter ego. It could be your character gets possessed by a cat spirit or channeling some magical powers. It could be a meme when your stocks go up. It could be just your characters having a moment. Or it can simply be a lifeless eye texture to show when you're feeling sad and tired. Though, I think if you're feeling those emotions, you should focus on taking care of yourself rather than streaming. The fifth page added in this update is Anime Eye Expressions, which I believe a lot of you will love to use. This is where you can add additional custom textures for your character's eyes, like adding hearts or various chibi expressions. At the time of recording this video, there are 17 anime eye textures plus some variations in the expression pack. But let me know in the comment section down below on different textures you want me to add into this pack. Something like Anya's smug face or something. For every expression, the first thing you need to do is to set up how you display the textures in this eye hiding option drop-down menu. For example, you can choose to display the heart texture over the pupil. Or you can hide the pupil entirely and have the heart texture replace the pupil. Or you can hide the whole eyes and have the heart texture cover the eyes entirely. All of those options are valid and have been used in different anime-like media, so it's really up to your preference. Then you can move, rotate, or resize the textures using the default Unity transform tools in the scene window. One thing to note here is that you also want to check if the texture is still level with your eyes. You don't want the texture to be too far ahead from the eyelids, which is why we have this testing slider to check if the texture can be covered by the eyelids when the character closes their eyes. By default, the texture for the right eye always mirrors the texture on the left. If you want to have different positions, rotations, or scales for the right eye, you can untick this option so that you can manually set the right texture independently. This is very useful if you have different textures for each eye, which can be done by enabling Use Custom Texture option. Do note that the textures must be in PNG file format. Please open the included Photoshop template file if you want to see some examples. Flip Right Texture option is useful if you want to use the same texture for both eyes, but you want the right eyes to be flipped. If your textures are meant to appear over the pupil or replace it, you might want to activate Move with Iris option. This is not necessary if your overlay textures are not meant to move with the pupils or if the pupils are hidden. Then finally, we have the Texture Color field, which will additively add colors to your textures. That means if your texture is pure white, this field will allow you to change the color of the textures, which also includes the opacity of the textures. But again, this is completely optional. You may have your own custom color textures, in which you should set the color to white to display the original color. Now, for more advanced usage, there are so many things you can do with this page alone. For example, I could make the left eye texture to represent both square eyes and the right eye texture to be the mouth drooling sprite. The last page added in this update is the VFX Expressions. At the time of this video recording, there are 8 particle effects that are included in this pack. There is not a lot of customizability in this page other than repositioning the particle effects in the list so that it appears where you want them to be, just like in the previous page. By default, this expression pack should preview the particle effects you're currently selecting. But if the particle effects have stopped playing, you just need to press the play button on the right side of the scene window. The only exception to this rule is this Thoughts VFX, which is an animation instead of a particle effect. To preview it, you just need to press the play button on the animation window and use the refocus button to preview the character's face. As I said in the beginning, there are 2 versions of this plugin, the free light version and the paid pro version. Pro version will get you 17 anime eye expressions and 8 VFX expressions. Free version will only get 2 each. The light version is not a trial. Your model will still work flawlessly without any errors on both versions. I hope I made it very clear that I tried my best to make my tools available to as many people as possible. The only reason why I have to include this paid version is to support myself and my family. I just turned 25 last month, and making this tool alone took months of work. In the near future, I want to be able to live off making these tools for all of you. I fully believe that this premium model is the best way to do it. So feel free to try the light version of this expression pack. Then, if you think you need the features provided by the Pro version, Or if you feel that I've earned that $10 money, only then you should buy this expression pack. If you do that, I thank you very much. As always, special thanks to my patrons for supporting this hobby of mine. All patrons will be able to get this tool for free if your membership has cumulatively reached or exceed the $10 price. For example, if you are an apprentice tier at $2.50, you will be able to claim the pro version for free if you have become a patron for 4 months or more. So starting from today, by becoming a patron, you're basically saving up for my next tool release and you'll get access to some exclusive videos like this pathfinding tutorial, all while supporting me making more videos like this. If you want to see more tutorials about VRoid and Unity, consider subscribing and ring the bell so you won't miss out. And with that, I think I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.